All right, let's talk about risk. What if I told you one of the biggest unmanaged risks in your entire portfolio might be something you're not even looking at? We're going to break down exactly that today, based on a really sharp report from Virtualization Options LLC. And we're going to focus specifically on the investor's angle, how something as simple as outdated security training has become a huge, and I mean huge, threat to your returns.
So to really get a handle on the stakes here, let's just start with a number. $4.45 million. I mean, think about that. That's the average cost of a single data breach in 2023. Now here's the scary part. Attackers are using AI to get smarter and faster. So that number, it's not just a statistic. It's a starting point for a cost that's only going up, and it's tied directly to the weak spots we're about to expose.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at what this new class of risk actually is. Then, we'll put some real numbers on it, showing you what the exposure looks like for an investor. From there, we'll get into the practical stuff, what you can actually do about it. And we'll wrap up by looking at this whole thing as a new signal for good governance.
All right, first up, a new class of risk. And the subtitle here says it all. Why annual training is now actively dangerous. That's a pretty bold claim, right? Not just useless, but dangerous. So let's dig into why the game has changed so much.
You know, the heart of the problem is really a mismatch in speed. It's an arms race, plain and simple. On one side, you have AI-powered attacks that are evolving literally every single day. On the other, you've got this old-school, once-a-year training. It's like bringing a history book to a laser fight. It doesn't just leave a knowledge gap. It creates this incredibly dangerous false sense of security where everyone thinks they're safe, but they're really just sitting ducks.
Okay, so we've got this tech arms race. But how does that actually hit your portfolio? Let's connect the dots from this, sort of abstract threat to the real dollars and cents impact.
Well, the report lays out 4 key ways this risk really hurts investors. First, you've got the obvious one, direct financial loss, just the cost of the breach and cleanup. Then you got the regulators coming in with fines, and believe me, they're not getting any smaller. That, of course, can hammer the stock price. And maybe most importantly, this is now leading to personal liability for directors and officers. It's getting personal.
And speaking of regulators, this is a huge deal. The SEC has a new ticking clock. Public companies now have to disclose a major cyber incident within just 4 business days. 4 days! Think about that. There's no time to figure things out after the fact. You have to be ready before it happens. And that readiness, it all starts with your people.
And this is where it gets really serious. Liability isn't just a corporate problem anymore. Failing to have a good, modern training program in place, that's now being seen as a failure of the board itself. The fallout isn't just a fine for the company anymore. We're talking about personal liability for directors and officers. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so we've laid out the risks, and they're pretty scary. So what's the solution? How do we fix this? Let's talk about shifting from defense to offense, getting proactive. And more importantly, what questions should you, as an investor, be asking during due diligence?
This chart really lays it out perfectly. It's the old way versus the new way. On the left, you've got the old model, annual, check-the-box training. It's all about compliance, it's static, and honestly, it just creates a false sense of security. But on the right, you see the new model. This is about real, proactive risk management. It's continuous, it's adaptive, it's tailored to specific roles, and it builds genuine, measurable resilience.
So, this brings us to an actual, actionable checklist for your due diligence. It's really 3 simple steps. 1. When you ask for their SOC 2 reports, demand to see their security training programs. 2. Learn to tell the difference. Is this a real, adaptive program or just a once-a-year compliance video? And 3. Check for board oversight. Is this issue even making it onto the board's agenda? That question alone will tell you a lot.
And that leads us to our final section, which might be the most powerful idea in this whole guide. A company's approach to security training, it's not just some IT issue anymore. It's actually becoming a powerful new signal for how well that company is run, period.
This quote from the report really nails it. Annual-only programs signal elevated human factor breach risk and should be weighted as a governance risk factor. I mean, let that sink in. It's saying that an old-school training program isn't just a detail, it's a red flag, a clear signal of higher risk and weaker governance that you should factor into your analysis.
But here's the upside. For companies that get it right, the ones using continuous, AI-driven training, it's a huge positive signal. They're creating an audit trail of proactive risk management.
And for any investor looking at ESG frameworks, this is gold. It's a tangible, measurable, positive signal for the G in ESG governance, which is often the trickiest one to pin down.
So, let's wrap this up with a simple question. We started by asking about the biggest unmanaged risk in your portfolio. Well, after all this, could it be hiding in plain sight, right there in the training logs? The big takeaway here is that how a company trains its people on security is a direct window into its quality of governance. The only question left is, are you looking?